Tired of the endless grind? In the audiobook Work Minimalism, How to Work Less and Earn More, reveals the secret to boosting your income while reclaiming your time. Discover how to streamline your workload, focus on high-impact tasks, and leverage strategic minimalism for maximum results. Don't let overwhelm hold you back from the success you deserve. Learn to work smarter, not harder, and unlock a life of balance, purpose, and financial freedom. Your transformation begins here. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1: The Quiet Revolution. In the bustling world of modern work, a silent transformation is taking place. It's a revolution that challenges the very foundations of how we perceive productivity and success. This revolution isn't about working harder or longer hours. It's about working smarter, more efficiently, and with greater purpose. Welcome to the world of work minimalism. For decades, society has glorified the notion of busyness. We've been conditioned to believe that the more hours we put in, the more successful we'll become. But what if this widely accepted belief is fundamentally flawed? What if the key to greater success and fulfillment lies not in doing more, but in doing less? Work minimalism is a paradigm shift that turns traditional notions of productivity on their head. It's about achieving more by doing less, focusing on what truly matters, and eliminating the unnecessary. This approach isn't about cutting corners or shirking responsibilities. Rather, it's about identifying and prioritizing the tasks that genuinely contribute to your goals and eliminating those that don't. As you embark on this journey through the pages of this book, you'll begin to understand the core principles of work minimalism. You'll start to question long-held beliefs about work and productivity. The first time you go through this book, you'll begin to shift your mindset from valuing busyness to appreciating strategic efficiency. This shift is profound and can be somewhat unsettling at first. After all, we've been conditioned to equate being busy with being productive and valuable. But as you delve deeper into the concepts presented here, you'll start to see the immense potential in this new approach. One of the first skills you'll develop is the ability to identify and start eliminating non-essential tasks that don't contribute to your primary goals. This might sound simple, but it's a skill that requires practice and a shift in perspective. You'll learn to look at your to-do list with a critical eye, questioning each task's value and relevance to your overarching objectives. But the benefits of work minimalism extend far beyond these initial steps. Over time, as you continue to apply these principles, you'll find yourself moving towards a more balanced life. You'll be able to achieve your professional goals with less stress and more satisfaction. Imagine being able to leave work at a reasonable hour, feeling accomplished and content, rather than exhausted and overwhelmed. This is the promise of work minimalism. Consistent practice of work minimalism will enhance your ability to focus on high-impact activities. You'll become adept at identifying the tasks that truly move the needle in your professional life. This laser focus on what matters most will lead to sustained financial success. You'll find yourself achieving more in less time, opening up opportunities for growth and advancement that you might have missed when you were caught up in the cycle of busyness. But the benefits aren't just professional. Work minimalism can lead to profound personal fulfillment. By freeing up time and mental energy, you create space for personal growth, relationships, and pursuits outside of work. You might find yourself rediscovering old hobbies, spending more quality time with loved ones, or finally pursuing that side project you've been dreaming about for years. So, what's involved in adopting work minimalism? The journey begins with a fundamental mindset shift. This is perhaps the most challenging, but also the most crucial step. You need to recognize and truly internalize the value of doing less, but achieving more. This involves questioning traditional work norms that you've likely been following for years, if not decades. You'll need to challenge the voice in your head that equates long hours with productivity. You'll need to push back against the societal pressure to always be on and busy. This mindset shift is about embracing new, more efficient approaches to work. It's about valuing outcomes over hours spent, quality over quantity. Once you've begun to shift your mindset, the next step is task analysis. This involves regularly reviewing your work activities to identify which tasks are essential and which can be minimized or eliminated. This step requires honesty and sometimes tough decisions. You might find that some tasks you've always considered important are actually not contributing significantly to your goals. The final key step is developing a strategic focus. This means gaining a clear understanding of your goals and aligning your daily activities to support these objectives. It's about ensuring that every task you undertake is moving you closer to where you want to be. You might be wondering why these steps are important and why they're presented in this particular order. The mindset shift comes first because it's foundational. Without changing how you think about work and productivity, any other changes you try to implement will likely be short-lived. This mental preparation is crucial for embracing change and adopting new habits. Once your mindset is aligned with the principles of work minimalism, the task of identifying non-essential activities becomes much easier. You'll be able to look at your workload with fresh eyes, making it possible to streamline your tasks effectively. Finally, with a clear mindset and reduced clutter in your workload, you can focus on strategic priorities. This ensures that your efforts lead to meaningful outcomes rather than just busy work. As you progress through this book, you'll encounter various strategies and techniques designed to help you implement work minimalism in your life. Each chapter builds upon the last, providing you with a comprehensive toolkit for transforming your approach to work. You'll discover the power of the mind sweep in clearing mental clutter, setting the stage for increased focus and productivity. The triple edge will introduce you to a powerful prioritization technique that will revolutionize how you approach your daily tasks. And just wait until you discover the counterintuitive power of the time squeeze. It might just change everything you thought you knew about deadlines and efficiency. But remember, work minimalism isn't a quick fix or a one-time change. It's a journey, a continuous process of refinement and improvement. As you progress through this book and begin implementing these strategies, you'll likely encounter challenges. Old habits die hard, and you might find yourself slipping back into familiar patterns of overwork and busyness. Don't be discouraged when this happens. It's a natural part of the process. The key is to remain committed to the principles of work minimalism, to keep pushing forward even when it feels uncomfortable or unfamiliar. With time and practice, these new approaches will become second nature, and you'll wonder how you ever worked any other way. As we conclude this introductory chapter, you might be feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. You're standing at the threshold of a significant change, one that promises to transform not just how you work, but how you live. The journey ahead will challenge you, but it also offers immense rewards. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the first practical step of your work minimalism journey. You'll learn a powerful technique that will clear the mental clutter that's been holding you back, setting the stage for unprecedented focus and productivity. Are you ready to unlock the hidden potential of your mind? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Mind Sweep. Have you ever felt like your mind is a cluttered attic, filled with an assortment of thoughts, tasks, and worries? It's as if every corner of your brain is occupied by a to-do list item, a half-formed idea, or a nagging concern. This mental clutter can be overwhelming, sapping your energy and focus, leaving you feeling stressed and unproductive. But what if there was a way to clear out this mental attic, to sweep away the cobwebs of scattered thoughts and create space for clarity and focus. Enter the mind sweep, a powerful technique that forms the foundation of our journey into work minimalism. At its core, the mind sweep is about decluttering your mind, but it's so much more than that. It's a practice that can transform how you approach your work and ultimately your life. But why is this mental decluttering so crucial for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the nature of our minds and how they function when overloaded. When your mind is cluttered with a myriad of thoughts and tasks, it's like trying to run a high-performance computer with too many programs open. Everything slows down. Your ability to focus diminishes, your decision-making becomes clouded, and your productivity takes a nosedive. By clearing this mental clutter, you create space. Space for focus, space for creativity, space for the kind of deep, meaningful work that truly moves the needle in your professional life. When your mind is clear, you can easily identify and focus on high-priority tasks. You become more efficient, not by working harder or longer, but by working smarter. Imagine being able to sit down at your desk each morning with a clear mind and a laser focus on what truly matters. No more wasting the first hour of your day trying to figure out what to do. No more feeling overwhelmed by a never-ending to-do list. Instead, you know exactly what needs to be done, and you have the mental clarity to dive right in. This is the power of the mind sweep. It enables you to increase your productivity and efficiency without additional effort. In fact, you'll likely find yourself working less while accomplishing more. It sounds counterintuitive, but as you'll soon discover, it's entirely possible. So how do we put this powerful technique into practice? The mind sweep involves two key exercises, the daily brain dump and the weekly review. Let's start with the daily brain dump. Each morning, before you dive into your work, set aside 10 minutes for a brain dump. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Take out a piece of paper or open a blank document on your computer. Now, write down everything that's on your mind. And I mean everything. That report due next week? Write it down. The dentist appointment you need to schedule? Jot it down. The idea for a new project that's been percolating in the back of your mind? Get it on paper. Don't worry about organizing or categorizing at this stage. The goal is simply to get everything out of your head and onto paper. It's like emptying your pockets at the end of the day, but instead of coins and receipts, you're emptying out thoughts and tasks. This practice might feel strange at first. You might even resist it, thinking you don't have time for such an exercise. But stick with it. The benefits far outweigh the time investment. By getting everything out of your head, you're freeing up mental space. You're also making your thoughts and tasks tangible, which makes them easier to manage and prioritize. The daily brain dump is powerful on its own, but its effectiveness is amplified when combined with the weekly review. At the end of each week, set aside some time to review your brain dumps from the past week. This is where the magic really happens. During your weekly review, go through all the items you've written down. Start categorizing them. Which tasks are urgent? Which are important but not time-sensitive? Which items are related to your long-term goals? Are there any tasks that can be delegated or eliminated entirely? This process helps you gain a bird's-eye view of your work and life. You'll start to see patterns emerge. Maybe you'll notice that you're spending too much time on low-value tasks. Or perhaps you'll realize that some of your most important goals are being neglected in the day-to-day hustle. Use this insight to plan for the upcoming week. Set clear priorities based on what you've learned from your review. This way, when Monday morning rolls around, you're not starting from scratch. You have a clear roadmap for the week ahead. The outcomes of consistently practicing the mind sweep can be truly transformative. At a basic level, you'll experience reduced stress and a clearer mind. No longer will you lie awake at night, your mind racing with all the things you need to do. You've captured them all in your brain dumps, and you know you have a system for dealing with them. But the benefits don't stop there. As you continue this practice, you'll notice improved focus and productivity. You'll find yourself spending less time on low-value tasks and more time on the work that really matters. Your ability to prioritize will improve dramatically. You'll become more intentional about how you spend your time and energy. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop a streamlined work process where every task is purposeful and aligned with your goals. Imagine a workday where everything you do directly contributes to your objectives, where you're not just busy, but productive in the truest sense of the word. This is the potential of the mind sweep. Of course, like any new practice, implementing the mind sweep can come with challenges. One common issue is feeling overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks and thoughts that come up during your brain dumps. If you find yourself in this situation, don't panic. Remember, the purpose of the brain dump is to get everything out of your head, not to tackle everything at once. If you're feeling overwhelmed, use your weekly review to be even more ruthless in your prioritization. Look for tasks that can be eliminated or delegated. Ask yourself, does this task truly contribute to my goals? What would happen if I didn't do it? You might be surprised by how many tasks you can let go of without any negative consequences. Another potential pitfall is inconsistent practice. It's easy to skip your daily brain dump when you're feeling rushed, or to put off your weekly review when you're tired at the end of the week. But consistency is key to reaping the full benefits of the mind sweep. To combat this, make the mind sweep a non-negotiable part of your routine. Set reminders if you need to. Treat your daily brain dump like any other important appointment. Block out time in your calendar for your weekly review. Over time, these practices will become habits, as natural as brushing your teeth or checking your email. As you integrate the mind sweep into your life, you'll likely find that its benefits extend beyond your work. A clearer mind can lead to better relationships as you're more present and less distracted. It can improve your decision-making in all areas of your life. You might even find that you sleep better, free from the mental chatter that often keeps us awake at night. The mind sweep is a powerful tool, but it's just the beginning of your journey into work minimalism. It sets the stage for everything else we'll explore in this book. With a clear mind and a solid grasp on your tasks and priorities, you're ready to take the next step towards working less and earning more. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a technique that will revolutionize how you approach your daily tasks. It's a method that seems simple on the surface, but has the power to triple your productivity. Are you ready to sharpen your focus to a razor's edge? Chapter 3, Triple Edge. In the world of work, we often find ourselves juggling numerous tasks, each vying for our attention. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, like a circus performer trying to keep multiple plates spinning at once. But what if there was a way to cut through the chaos? A method that could sharpen your focus to such a degree that you could accomplish more by doing less. Enter the triple edge strategy. This powerful approach to task management isn't about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter with laser-like precision. But what exactly is the triple edge, and why is it so crucial for those who want to work less and earn more? At its core, the triple edge is about prioritization, but it's not just any form of prioritization. It's a radical simplification of your daily tasks, a way to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. The name triple edge might conjure images of a three-sided blade, and in a way, that's an apt metaphor. This strategy allows you to cut through your to-do list with the precision of a finely honed knife, separating the essential from the non-essential. But why is this level of prioritization so important for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle suggests that roughly 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts. In other words, a small number of our tasks are responsible for the majority of our success. By identifying and focusing on these high-impact tasks, we can dramatically increase our productivity without increasing our work hours. In fact, we might even be able to reduce our work hours while still achieving better results. This is the power of the triple edge. So how does the triple edge work in practice? The core of this strategy is deceptively simple. Each morning, you identify your top 3 tasks for the day. These aren't just any tasks, though. These are the 3 tasks that, if completed, would make the day a success. They're the tasks that align most closely with your goals and have the potential to move the needle in your professional life. Once you've identified these 3 tasks, your mission is clear. Focus solely on these until they are completed. This doesn't mean you ignore everything else. Emergencies happen, and there will always be small tasks that need attention. But your primary focus, your North Star for the day, is these 3 tasks. This approach might seem overly simplistic at first. After all, most of us have to-do lists that are much longer than 3 items. But that's precisely the point. By limiting your focus to just 3 high-priority tasks, you force yourself to be intentional about what you're working on. You eliminate the overwhelm that comes from a never-ending to-do list and channel your energy into the tasks that matter most. The beauty of the triple edge is that it's not just about getting things done. It's about getting the right things done. It's about ensuring that your efforts are directed towards activities that have the greatest impact on your success. This allows you to accomplish more in less time, paving the way for both increased productivity and more free time. But the triple edge doesn't end when you complete your 3 tasks. There's another crucial component to this strategy: reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on your accomplishments. Did you complete your top 3 tasks? If not, why? What obstacles did you face? This reflection isn't about beating yourself up over uncompleted tasks. It's about learning, adapting, and improving. Use this reflection time to adjust your priorities for the next day. Maybe you realize that one of your tasks was too ambitious to complete in a single day. Break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. Perhaps you notice that certain times of day are more productive for you. Use that information to schedule your most important tasks during your peak hours. This daily reflection serves several purposes. First, it gives you a sense of closure for the day, allowing you to leave work behind and truly relax in your off hours. Second, it helps you continually refine your prioritization skills. Over time, you'll get better at identifying which tasks truly deserve to be in your top 3. And finally, it sets you up for success the next day, giving you a head start on identifying your priorities. The potential outcomes of consistently applying the triple edge strategy can be truly transformative. At a basic level, you'll likely find that you're completing important tasks with less stress. The clarity that comes from knowing exactly what you need to focus on can be incredibly freeing. No more feeling overwhelmed by a long to-do list or paralyzed by indecision about what to work on next. As you continue to practice this strategy, you'll likely see excellent results in the form of consistent progress towards your long-term goals. By focusing on high-impact tasks day after day, week after week, you'll find that you're making significant strides in your professional life. Projects that once seemed daunting become manageable. Long-term objectives start to feel within reach. But the best possible outcome? That's when you achieve mastery in task prioritization, leading to significant professional and personal achievements. Imagine being so in tune with your goals and so skilled at identifying high-impact tasks that every day feels purposeful and productive. You're not just working, you're making meaningful progress. You're not just busy, you're effective. This level of mastery can lead to remarkable achievements. You might find yourself completing major projects ahead of schedule, freeing up time for new opportunities. You could see a significant increase in your income as your enhanced productivity leads to better results and new responsibilities. On a personal level, you might discover that you have more time for hobbies, relationships, and personal growth. Of course, like any powerful strategy, the triple edge can come with challenges. One common issue is difficulty in prioritizing. When everything feels important, how do you choose just 3 tasks? This is where criteria such as urgency, importance, and alignment with goals come in handy. When you're struggling to prioritize, ask yourself, which tasks are truly time-sensitive? Which ones, if completed, would have the biggest positive impact on your work or life? Which tasks align most closely with your long-term goals? By using these criteria, you can more easily identify your top priorities. Another potential pitfall is distractions. In our hyper-connected world, it's all too easy to get pulled away from our priorities by emails, messages, or impromptu meetings. To combat this, it's crucial to set boundaries and use focus tools. This might mean blocking off uninterrupted work time on your calendar, turning off notifications during focused work sessions, or using apps that limit access to distracting websites. Remember, the goal of the triple edge isn't to ignore everything else. It's to ensure that your most important work gets done, even amidst the daily chaos of a busy workplace. By setting boundaries and minimizing distractions, you create the space you need to focus on your priorities. As you begin to implement the triple edge strategy, you might find it challenging at first. That's normal. Like any new habit, it takes time to master. Be patient with yourself. Start each day with the intention to focus on your top 3 tasks, but don't be discouraged if you don't always succeed. Each day is a new opportunity to refine your approach. Over time, you'll likely find that the triple edge becomes second nature. You'll develop an intuitive sense of what truly matters and what can wait. You'll become more confident in your ability to prioritize effectively and more skilled at focusing on high-impact tasks. The triple edge is a powerful tool in your work minimalism toolkit. It allows you to cut through the noise, focus on what matters most, and achieve more by doing less. But it's just one piece of the puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a counterintuitive strategy that can supercharge your productivity. It's a technique that might seem scary at first, but has the potential to revolutionize how you work. Are you ready to embrace the pressure and watch your productivity soar? Chapter 4. Time Squeeze. Have you ever noticed how quickly you can pack a suitcase when you're running late for a flight? Or how efficiently you can clean your house when unexpected guests are on their way? There's something about a looming deadline that kicks our productivity into high gear. This phenomenon is at the heart of our next strategy, the time squeeze. The time squeeze might sound intimidating at first. After all, who wants to feel squeezed? But this technique isn't about adding pressure to your life. Instead, it's about harnessing the natural urgency that arises when time is limited. It's about creating the conditions that allow you to tap into your most productive self. But why is this important for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the nature of work itself. Many of us have experienced the phenomenon of work expanding to fill the time available. Give yourself a week to complete a task, and it will take a week. Give yourself a day, and somehow you'll get it done in a day. This is known as Parkinson's Law, and it's a key principle behind the time squeeze. By deliberately limiting the time we allocate to tasks, we can combat procrastination and increase our focus. We eliminate the luxury of procrastination and force ourselves to concentrate on what's truly important. This increased efficiency allows us to complete more work in less time, opening up opportunities to take on more high-value work or simply enjoy more free time. The time squeeze works by creating a sense of urgency. When we feel that time is limited, our brains kick into high gear. We become more focused, more decisive, and more efficient. We naturally prioritize what's important and let go of what's not. It's as if we're able to tap into a reserve of productivity that we didn't even know we had. But how do we put this principle into practice? One of the key exercises in the time squeeze strategy is setting short deadlines. This doesn't mean arbitrarily rushing through your work. Instead, it's about challenging yourself to complete tasks more quickly than you normally would. Start by looking at your to-do list. For each task, consider how long you would typically allow for its completion. Now, try setting a deadline that's significantly shorter. If you usually give yourself a week to write a report, try doing it in 3 days. If you typically allocate an hour for a certain task, see if you can do it in 40 minutes. This might feel uncomfortable at first. You might worry that you're setting yourself up for failure or that the quality of your work will suffer. But give it a try. You might be surprised at what you can accomplish when you push yourself. As you implement this practice, it's important to track your performance. Keep a record of the deadlines you set and whether you meet them. Note the quality of the work you produce under these tighter deadlines. This data will be invaluable as you refine your approach. Another practical exercise in the time squeeze strategy is the use of timers. One popular method is the Pomodoro technique, named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer its creator used. This technique involves working in focused 25-minute bursts, followed by short breaks. The beauty of using timers is that they create mini deadlines throughout your day. Each 25-minute session becomes a race against the clock, encouraging you to focus intensely on the task at hand. The frequent breaks prevent burnout and help maintain high levels of focus throughout the day. There are numerous apps and tools available that can help you implement this technique, but a simple kitchen timer or the timer on your phone works just as well. The key is to commit to focusing solely on your chosen task for the duration of the timer. No checking emails, no scrolling through social media, just pure, focused work. As you begin to implement the time squeeze, you'll likely start to see results quickly. At a basic level, you'll probably notice that you're completing tasks faster than before. This alone can be a significant boost to your productivity and can help reduce work-related stress. But the benefits don't stop there. As you continue to practice this technique, you'll likely see excellent outcomes in the form of improved time management skills and reduced procrastination. You'll become better at estimating how long tasks will take, and you'll find yourself putting things off less often. The habit of starting tasks immediately, rather than waiting until the last minute, can be transformative. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop the ability to handle more tasks in less time without compromising quality. This is where the real magic happens. Imagine being able to complete in 6 hours what used to take you 8 or 9. Imagine having the reputation as the person who always delivers high-quality work ahead of schedule. This level of productivity can open doors to new opportunities, higher-paying projects, or simply more free time to pursue your passions. Of course, like any powerful technique, the time squeeze comes with potential pitfalls. One common issue is overestimating deadlines. In your enthusiasm to push yourself, you might set unrealistic deadlines that you consistently miss. This can be demoralizing and counterproductive. If you find yourself in this situation, don't give up on the technique. Instead, adjust your approach. Review the deadlines you've been setting and your performance in meeting them. If you're consistently missing deadlines by a wide margin, try setting slightly longer deadlines while still keeping them challenging. The goal is to find the sweet spot where you're pushing yourself to be more efficient without setting yourself up for failure. Another potential issue is burnout. The time squeeze can be an intense technique, and if you're not careful, you might find yourself exhausted. This is why it's crucial to balance periods of intense work with adequate rest. Make sure you're taking regular breaks throughout the day. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method to build breaks into your work schedule. And most importantly, when your workday is done, truly disconnect. Resist the urge to keep pushing yourself around the clock. Remember, the goal of work minimalism is not just to be more productive, but to create a more balanced, fulfilling life. As you implement the time squeeze, you might find that it changes your relationship with time itself. You'll likely become more aware of how you spend your time and more intentional about your choices. You might find yourself naturally cutting out time-wasting activities and focusing more on what truly matters. This heightened awareness can extend beyond your work life. You might find yourself becoming more efficient in your personal tasks as well. Grocery shopping, household chores, even leisure activities can benefit from a bit of the time squeeze mentality. The result can be a life that feels fuller and more purposeful, with more time for the things you truly enjoy. Remember, the time squeeze isn't about constantly rushing or being stressed. It's about finding your optimal level of productivity and challenge. It's about tapping into the focus and efficiency that often emerge when we're up against a deadline and learning to access that state more consistently. As you master the time squeeze, you'll likely find that you're able to create more output in less time. But quantity isn't everything. In fact, sometimes the key to true productivity lies in doing less, not more. In our next chapter, we'll explore a counterintuitive strategy that can take your efficiency to the next level. It's an approach that might seem at odds with everything you've learned about productivity, but it has the power to transform your work life. Are you ready to discover the hidden power of less? Chapter 5, Micro-Tweaks. In our quest for productivity and success, we often seek grand, sweeping changes. We look for the big breakthrough, the revolutionary technique that will transform our work life overnight. But what if the key to working less and earning more isn't found in these dramatic shifts? What if the real magic lies in the smallest of changes, in the tiniest adjustments to our daily routines? Welcome to the world of micro-tweaks. This chapter isn't about overhauling your entire work life in one fell swoop. Instead, it's about the power of small, seemingly insignificant changes that, when applied consistently over time, can lead to remarkable results. Think of micro-tweaks as the compound interest of productivity. Just as small, regular investments can grow into a substantial sum over time, tiny adjustments to your work habits can accumulate into significant improvements in your efficiency and output. It's not about making dramatic changes that are hard to sustain. It's about making small, manageable tweaks that you can stick with day in and day out. But why are these micro-tweaks so important for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the nature of habit formation and the way our brains adapt to change. Big, sweeping changes can be overwhelming. They often require a lot of willpower to maintain, and when our motivation inevitably falters, we tend to revert to our old ways. Micro-tweaks, on the other hand, are much easier to implement and maintain. They slip under the radar of our brain's resistance to change. They're so small that they don't trigger the fear or discomfort that often comes with bigger changes. Yet, over time, these tiny adjustments can lead to significant improvements in your productivity, allowing you to accomplish more without feeling like you're working harder. So, what exactly do these micro-tweaks look like in practice? They can be as simple as adjusting your morning routine to include 5 minutes of planning your day. It might be setting a rule to always touch an email only once, either respond to it, delete it, or file it away immediately. Perhaps it's deciding to always have a glass of water on your desk to stay hydrated throughout the day. These changes might seem trivial at first glance. After all, how much difference can drinking more water really make to your productivity? But remember, we're not looking for immediate dramatic results. We're playing the long game, making small changes that compound over time. One of the key exercises in implementing micro-tweaks is habit tracking. Choose one micro-habit that you want to implement and commit to tracking it daily for a month. This could be something as simple as writing down your top 3 priorities for the day every morning, or spending the last 5 minutes of your workday tidying your desk and preparing for tomorrow. The act of tracking serves 2 purposes. First, it keeps you accountable. When you have to check off whether you've done your micro-habit each day, you're more likely to follow through. Second, it makes your progress visible. As you see the chain of successful days growing longer, you'll be motivated to keep the streak alive. There are numerous apps available for habit tracking, or you can use a simple calendar or journal. The method doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Choose a tracking method that works for you and stick with it. As you become comfortable with your first micro-habit, you can start to introduce incremental changes. This might mean gradually increasing the complexity or frequency of your existing habit, or introducing a new micro-habit alongside the first. For example, if your initial micro-habit was to write down your top 3 priorities each morning, you might expand this to include a brief reflection on the previous day's accomplishments. Or you might add a new micro-habit, like taking a short walk during your lunch break to clear your mind and boost your afternoon productivity. The key here is to move slowly. Don't rush to add new habits before the first one has become truly ingrained. Remember, we're aiming for sustainable, long-term change, not quick fixes. As you implement these micro tweaks, you'll likely start to see results fairly quickly. At a basic level, you'll probably notice some improvements in your daily efficiency. Tasks that used to feel challenging might start to flow more easily. You might find yourself procrastinating less or feeling more organized. These initial improvements can be incredibly motivating. They're a tangible sign that your efforts are paying off, even if the changes still feel small. This early success can fuel your commitment to continue with your micro tweaks strategy. As you continue to practice and refine your micro habits, you may start to see excellent outcomes in the form of sustainable productivity increases and solid habit formation. You'll likely find that the habits you've been cultivating have become second nature. You no longer have to remind yourself to do them. They've become an integral part of your routine. This is where the real power of micro tweaks starts to shine. When productive behaviors become automatic, they no longer require willpower or conscious effort. You're not working harder to be more productive. You've simply optimized your default behavior to be more efficient. In the best-case scenario, you might experience a true lifestyle transformation where productivity becomes effortless. Imagine a workday where you naturally prioritize your most important tasks, where you effortlessly maintain focus, where you end each day feeling accomplished rather than exhausted. This level of transformation doesn't happen overnight, of course. It's the result of consistent application of micro tweaks over an extended period. But when it happens, it can feel almost magical. You're working less, but accomplishing more. You're earning more, but it doesn't feel like a constant struggle. Of course, like any productivity strategy, implementing micro tweaks can come with challenges. One common issue is inconsistency. It's easy to stick with a new habit for a few days or even a couple of weeks, but maintaining it long-term can be challenging. If you find yourself struggling with consistency, don't beat yourself up. Instead, use tools to support your efforts. Set reminders on your phone or use habit tracking apps that send you notifications. Make your micro habit as convenient as possible to perform. If your habit is to read industry news for 10 minutes each morning, for example, have the relevant websites or apps easily accessible on your devices. Another potential pitfall is overloading yourself with too many changes at once. In your enthusiasm to improve, you might be tempted to implement several micro habits simultaneously. This can quickly lead to overwhelm and burnout. To avoid this, focus on 1 or 2 micro habits at a time. Give yourself time to truly integrate these habits into your routine before adding more. Remember, the power of micro tweaks lies in their sustainability. It's better to successfully maintain one small habit than to attempt and abandon several. As you continue to implement and refine your micro tweaks, you might find that they start to influence areas of your life beyond just your work productivity. The mindset of making small, consistent improvements can spill over into your personal life, your health habits, your relationships. You might find yourself applying the principle of micro tweaks to your fitness routine, your reading habits, or your personal finances. This ripple effect can lead to a sense of continuous growth and improvement across all areas of your life. Remember, the goal of micro tweaks isn't to transform your life overnight. It's about embracing the power of small, consistent changes. It's about recognizing that true, lasting change often comes not from grand gestures, but from tiny adjustments made day after day. As you master the art of micro tweaks, you'll likely find that you're able to accomplish more with less effort. But what if you could take this principle even further? What if there was a way to multiply your productivity without multiplying your effort? In our next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that allows you to leverage your skills and time in ways you might never have imagined. Are you ready to discover the secret to exponential productivity? Chapter 6, Work Less. The title of this chapter might seem counterintuitive, perhaps even a bit audacious. After all, how can working less possibly lead to earning more? Isn't success all about putting in long hours, burning the midnight oil, and outworking everyone else? Well, What if I told you that the key to greater success and higher earnings might actually lie in doing less, not more? Welcome to a paradigm shift that could revolutionize your approach to work. This chapter isn't about slacking off or neglecting your responsibilities. Instead, it's about working smarter, not harder. It's about focusing your energy where it matters most and finding ways to multiply your efforts without multiplying your time investment. But how exactly do we achieve this seemingly paradoxical goal of working less while achieving more? The answer lies in a strategy that successful entrepreneurs and high performers have been using for years: strategic outsourcing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Outsourcing? Isn't that something only big companies do? How could this possibly apply to me and my work? But here's the thing. Outsourcing isn't just for corporations. It's a powerful tool that individuals can use to dramatically increase their productivity and focus on what truly matters. Think about your typical workday. How much of your time is spent on tasks that, while necessary, don't directly contribute to your main goals or utilize your core skills? These might be administrative tasks, data entry, research, or any number of other activities that eat up your time without necessarily moving the needle on your most important objectives. This is where the magic of outsourcing comes in. By delegating these tasks to others, you free up your time and mental energy to focus on the high-value activities that truly drive your success. It's about leveraging other people's time and skills to multiply your own productivity. But why is this so important for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the concept of comparative advantage. This economic principle suggests that you should focus on the tasks where you have the greatest relative advantage and outsource the rest. In other words, if you're a highly skilled professional whose time is worth $100 per hour, it doesn't make sense for you to spend hours on tasks that could be done by someone else for $20 per hour. By outsourcing these lower-value tasks, you free up your time to focus on the $100 per hour work, ultimately increasing your overall productivity and earnings. So, how do we put this principle into practice? The first step is to conduct a thorough task audit. This involves listing out all the tasks and activities that make up your work week. Be comprehensive. Include everything from the big, important projects to the small, routine tasks that you might not even think about consciously. Once you have this list, it's time to start identifying which tasks can potentially be outsourced. Look for tasks that meet one or more of the following criteria. 1. Tasks that don't require your specific expertise or skills. 2. Repetitive or routine tasks that eat up a lot of your time. 3. Tasks that you don't enjoy or that drain your energy. 4. Tasks that someone else could do more efficiently or effectively than you. You might be surprised at how many of your current tasks fall into these categories. From administrative work like scheduling and email management to more specialized tasks like graphic design or data analysis, there's likely a wide range of activities that could be handled by someone else. The next step is to develop an outsourcing plan. This involves figuring out how you're going to find and manage the people who will take on these tasks. There are numerous platforms available for finding freelancers or virtual assistants, such as Upwork, Fiverr, or specialized virtual assistant services. When developing your outsourcing plan, consider factors like budget, the level of expertise required, and how you'll communicate and manage the work. It's often a good idea to start small, perhaps outsourcing just 1 or 2 tasks to begin with, and then gradually expanding as you become more comfortable with the process. As you begin to implement your outsourcing strategy, you'll likely start to see results fairly quickly. At a basic level, you'll probably find that you have more time for strategic tasks. Those high-level activities that you never seemed to have time for before, suddenly they're becoming a regular part of your work routine. This alone can be transformative. When you're able to consistently focus on strategic, high-value tasks, you're likely to see improvements in your performance and, ultimately, your earnings. You're no longer constantly putting out fires or getting bogged down in routine tasks. Instead, you're able to think bigger, plan more effectively, and take on more important projects. As you continue to refine your outsourcing approach, you may start to see excellent outcomes in the form of enhanced productivity and a sharper focus on your core activities. You'll likely find that you're able to accomplish much more than you could before without working longer hours. This increased productivity often leads to better results, which can translate into higher earnings or new opportunities. Perhaps you're able to take on more clients, launch a new product, or pursue a promotion that you never had time for before. In the best-case scenario, you might develop a scalable work process that truly maximizes your strengths. Imagine a workday where you spend the vast majority of your time on the tasks that you're best at and that generate the most value. Everything else is handled efficiently by a team of freelancers or assistants, all working in harmony to support your goals. This level of optimization can lead to exponential growth in your productivity and earnings. You're no longer limited by the number of hours in a day because you've found a way to multiply your efforts through strategic outsourcing. Of course, like any powerful strategy, outsourcing comes with its own set of challenges. One common issue is quality control. When you're no longer doing every task yourself, how do you ensure that the work meets your standards? The key here is to establish clear guidelines and regular check-ins with your outsourced help. Be very specific about your expectations, provide examples of what good work looks like, and set up a system for reviewing and providing feedback on completed tasks. It's also important to remember that there might be a learning curve as your freelancers or assistants get up to speed with your preferences and standards. Be patient and provide constructive feedback. Over time, you'll likely find that the quality of work improves and becomes more consistent. Another potential pitfall is communication gaps. When you're working with remote freelancers or virtual assistants, it's crucial to maintain clear and consistent communication. Misunderstandings can lead to errors, delays, and frustration on both sides. To address this, make use of collaboration tools that facilitate clear communication. Project management platforms like Trello or Asana can help keep everyone on the same page about tasks and deadlines. Video conferencing tools can be useful for more complex discussions or regular check-ins. It's also a good idea to establish regular communication rhythms. This might involve daily quick check-ins, weekly progress reviews, or whatever cadence works best for your specific situation. The key is to maintain open lines of communication so that issues can be addressed quickly and work can flow smoothly. As you become more adept at outsourcing, you might find that it changes your entire approach to work. You'll likely become more strategic about how you use your time and energy. You might find yourself constantly asking, is this the best use of my time, or could someone else handle this task? This shift in mindset can be incredibly liberating. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by an endless to-do list, you start to see your workload as a set of choices. You have the power to decide what you'll focus on and what you'll delegate to others. Moreover, outsourcing can open up new possibilities for growth and expansion. When you're no longer constrained by the limits of your own time and energy, you can start to think bigger. Maybe you can take on that ambitious project you've been dreaming about. Perhaps you can finally write that book or launch that side business. Remember, the goal of outsourcing isn't just to work less for the sake of working less. It's about freeing up your time and energy to focus on what truly matters, the high-value, high-impact activities that drive your success and fulfillment. As you master the art of working less through strategic outsourcing, you'll likely find that your productivity and earnings potential increase dramatically. But what if there was a way to take this to the next level? What if you could not only work less, but also ensure that every moment you do spend working is laser-focused on generating wealth? In our next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that could transform your approach to work and skyrocket your earnings. Are you ready to discover the secret of truly rich work? Chapter 7, Rich Work. What if I told you that not all work is created equal, that some tasks you do each day are vastly more valuable than others? It might seem obvious when stated so plainly, but the truth is, many of us spend our days caught up in a whirlwind of activity without really considering the true value of each task we're performing. Welcome to the concept of rich work. This isn't about the dichotomy of being rich or poor, nor is it about the nature of your job title. Instead, it's about understanding and focusing on the work that truly enriches your professional life, and by extension, your bank account. But what exactly is rich work? To understand this, we need to dive deeper into the nature of the tasks that make up our workday. Think about your typical day. You probably engage in a wide variety of activities, responding to emails, attending meetings, working on projects, planning future initiatives. Now imagine if you could assign a dollar value to each of these tasks. Some might be worth pennies, others dollars, and a select few might be worth hundreds or even thousands. Rich work is about identifying and prioritizing those high-value tasks, the ones that contribute most directly to your income and professional growth. It's about understanding that not all work hours are created equal, and that by focusing on the right activities, you can dramatically increase your earnings without necessarily increasing your work hours. This concept is crucial for anyone looking to work less and earn more. By focusing on revenue-generating activities, you ensure that your work efforts translate directly into financial success. Instead of spinning your wheels on low-value tasks, you're channeling your energy into the activities that truly move the needle. But how do we identify these high-value tasks? This is where our first practical exercise comes in: revenue analysis. This involves regularly reviewing your tasks to identify which ones contribute most to your income. It's about developing a keen awareness of the link between your activities and your financial outcomes. Start by listing out all the tasks you perform in a typical week. Then, try to trace each task back to its impact on your income. Some connections will be obvious. For instance, if you're in sales, your client meetings directly lead to deals. Others might be less clear. How does that weekly team meeting contribute to your bottom line? This exercise isn't about dismissing tasks that don't directly generate revenue. Every job involves some necessary administrative work. Rather, it's about gaining clarity on which tasks have the highest potential for financial impact. Once you've identified your rich work tasks, the next step is to prioritize them. This is where our second practical exercise comes in: focus sessions. The idea here is to allocate dedicated time slots for your rich work activities. These are protected periods where you focus solely on your high-value tasks, free from distractions and interruptions. Start small, perhaps with a daily 1-hour rich work session. During this time, close your email, put your phone on silent, and focus entirely on your most valuable work. As you get comfortable with this approach, you can gradually increase the duration and frequency of these sessions. The potential outcomes of embracing rich work can be transformative. At a basic level, you'll likely develop an increased awareness of income-generating tasks. This awareness alone can be powerful, influencing how you approach your work and make decisions about where to invest your time and energy. As you continue to refine your approach, you may start to see excellent outcomes in the form of improved financial results from your focused efforts. You might notice that you're able to close more deals, complete high-value projects more quickly, or identify new revenue opportunities that you previously overlooked. In the best-case scenario, you could develop a streamlined workflow that maximizes your revenue potential. Imagine a workday where the majority of your time is spent on high-value, financially impactful tasks, where you're not just busy, but productively engaged in work that directly contributes to your success and earnings. This level of optimization can lead to a virtuous cycle. As you focus more on rich work, you'll likely see your earnings increase. This, in turn, can provide you with more resources and opportunities to further refine your approach, potentially leading to even greater financial success. However, like any powerful strategy, the concept of rich work comes with its own set of challenges. One common issue is misalignment with goals. It's easy to become so focused on short-term revenue generation that you neglect long-term strategic objectives. To address this, it's important to regularly reassess your tasks to ensure they align not just with immediate financial goals, but also with your broader professional objectives. Rich work isn't just about making money today, it's about setting yourself up for sustained success and growth. Another potential pitfall is an overemphasis on revenue. While focusing on income-generating activities is important, it's crucial not to neglect other aspects of your professional life. Activities like skill development, relationship building, and strategic planning might not generate immediate revenue, but they're essential for long-term success. The key is to strike a balance. Use your revenue analysis to identify your most financially impactful tasks, but also make sure to allocate time for activities that contribute to your long-term growth and sustainability. As you embrace the concept of rich work, you might find that it changes your entire perspective on your job and career. Tasks that you previously saw as important might start to seem less crucial. Conversely, activities that you might have overlooked could suddenly take on new significance. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering. Instead of feeling like you're at the mercy of your to-do list, you start to see your work as a series of choices. You have the power to decide where to focus your energy for maximum impact. Moreover, the concept of rich work can extend beyond your current job or role. As you become more attuned to the link between your activities and your financial outcomes, you might start to identify new opportunities for growth or even entirely new career paths. Perhaps you realize that a particular aspect of your job, one that you excel at and enjoy, has the potential to be developed into a lucrative side business. Or maybe you identify a gap in your industry that you're uniquely positioned to fill, leading to a new entrepreneurial venture. The beauty of rich work is that it's not about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter, focusing your energy where it matters most. It's about understanding the true value of your time and skills and leveraging that understanding to maximize your earnings and professional satisfaction. As you continue to refine your approach to rich work, you'll likely find that you're able to accomplish more while actually working less. You might find yourself with more free time to pursue personal interests, spend time with loved ones, or simply relax and recharge. Remember, the goal here isn't just to make more money. It's to create a more rewarding, balanced, and sustainable approach to your work and career. It's about ensuring that the time you spend working is as impactful and fulfilling as possible. As we conclude this chapter, you might be feeling excited about the potential of rich work to transform your professional life. You've learned how to identify your most valuable tasks, how to create focused time for these activities, and how to balance short-term revenue generation with long-term strategic goals. But what if there was a way to take this concept even further? What if you could not only identify and focus on your most valuable work, but also create a system for continuously refining and optimizing your approach? In our next chapter, we'll explore a powerful strategy that can help you do just that. Are you ready to discover the secret to sustained growth and success in your work life? Chapter 8, Roundtable. Imagine for a moment that you're the ruler of a vast kingdom. Your days are filled with countless decisions, each one potentially impacting the lives of your subjects and the future of your realm. How would you ensure that your actions are always moving your kingdom in the right direction? How would you balance the immediate needs of your people with your long-term vision for prosperity and growth? In medieval times, wise rulers often turned to a trusted circle of advisors, gathering around a round table to discuss matters of state and chart the course of the kingdom. This image of the round table, a place where strategy is forged and visions are aligned, is at the heart of our next powerful technique for working less and earning more. But what does a medieval round table have to do with modern work strategies? More than you might think. In our fast-paced, ever-changing work environments, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle, losing sight of our broader goals and objectives. We become reactive rather than proactive, constantly putting out fires instead of preventing them in the first place. This is where the concept of the round table comes in. It's not about gathering a group of knights, of course. Instead, it's about creating a regular practice of stepping back from the daily grind to assess, plan, and align your actions with your long-term vision. It's about being the ruler of your own professional kingdom, making sure that every action you take is moving you towards your ultimate goals. But why is this so important for working less and earning more? The answer lies in the power of alignment and intentionality. When your daily activities are in sync with your long-term objectives, you naturally become more efficient. You waste less time on tasks that don't contribute to your goals, and you make more progress with less effort. Moreover, regular strategic planning helps you identify opportunities and challenges before they arise. Instead of constantly reacting to circumstances, you're able to anticipate and prepare for them. This proactive approach not only reduces stress and workload, but also positions you to take advantage of opportunities that others might miss. So how do we put this roundtable concept into practice? The first step is to establish regular strategic sessions. These are dedicated times where you step away from your day-to-day work to focus on the bigger picture. Depending on your circumstances, these might be weekly, monthly, or quarterly sessions. During these strategic sessions, you review your progress, assess your current situation, and plan for the future. It's a time to ask yourself important questions. Are my current activities aligned with my long-term goals? What obstacles am I facing, and how can I overcome them? What opportunities am I not taking advantage of? These sessions don't have to be long. Even an hour can be incredibly valuable if used effectively. The key is consistency. By making these strategic sessions a regular part of your routine, you ensure that you're always moving in the right direction, adjusting course as needed. Another crucial element of the roundtable approach is effective goal setting. This isn't about creating a vague wish list of things you'd like to achieve. Instead, it's about using strategic tools to set clear, measurable objectives that align with your overall vision. One popular method for goal setting is the SMART framework, setting goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This approach helps ensure that your goals are clear and reachable, providing a solid foundation for your strategic planning. But setting goals is just the beginning. The real power of the roundtable approach comes from regularly tracking and adjusting these goals. During your strategic sessions, review your progress towards each goal. Are you on track? If not, why? What adjustments do you need to make? This regular review process allows you to stay flexible and responsive to changing circumstances while still maintaining a clear direction. It's about finding the balance between steadfast pursuit of your vision and the ability to adapt when necessary. As you begin to implement the roundtable approach, you'll likely start to see results fairly quickly. At a basic level, you'll probably experience a clearer sense of direction and focus in your work. Instead of feeling like you're drifting from task to task, you'll have a stronger sense of purpose and intention behind your actions. This increased clarity can be incredibly motivating. When you know that your daily activities are directly contributing to your long-term goals, it's easier to stay engaged and enthusiastic about your work. You're no longer just going through the motions. You're actively building towards your vision of success. As you continue to refine your roundtable practice, you may start to see excellent outcomes in the form of consistent progress towards your long-term goals. You'll likely find that you're able to achieve more with less effort because your actions are more focused and intentional. This consistent progress can create a powerful momentum in your professional life. Each achievement builds on the last, creating a snowball effect of success. You might find yourself reaching goals faster than you expected, opening up new opportunities and possibilities. In the best-case scenario, you could develop a cohesive strategy that aligns all your efforts with your vision of success. Imagine a work life where every task, every project, every decision is moving you closer to your ultimate objectives, where you're not just busy, but purposefully engaged in building the professional future you desire. This level of strategic alignment can lead to remarkable achievements. You might find yourself advancing in your career more quickly than you thought possible, or perhaps you'll be able to pivot your career in an entirely new direction, one that's more aligned with your passions and goals. Of course, like any powerful strategy, the roundtable approach comes with its own set of challenges. One common issue is a lack of follow-through. It's easy to get excited about setting goals and making plans during your strategic sessions, but following through on those plans in the face of daily demands can be challenging. To address this, consider assigning accountability partners. This could be a colleague, a mentor, or even a professional coach. Share your goals and plans with this person and schedule regular check-ins. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments can provide that extra motivation to follow through. Another potential pitfall is misalignment between your plans and changing circumstances. The business world moves quickly, and what seemed like a good strategy a few months ago might no longer be relevant. To avoid this, make sure to regularly revisit and adjust your plans. Use your strategic sessions not just to track progress, but to reassess the relevance and feasibility of your goals. Don't be afraid to make changes if circumstances demand it. Remember, the goal isn't to stick rigidly to a plan, but to continually move towards your vision of success. As you embrace the roundtable approach, you might find that it changes your entire perspective on work and success. Instead of seeing your career as a series of disconnected tasks and projects, you'll start to see it as a coherent journey towards your goals. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances or other people's agendas. Instead, you're the architect of your own professional destiny, consciously shaping your career path with each decision and action. Moreover, the skills you develop through this process, strategic thinking, goal setting, adaptability, are valuable in all areas of life. You might find yourself applying the roundtable approach to personal goals, financial planning, or even family decisions. Remember, the roundtable isn't just about planning. It's about creating a sustainable approach to success. It's about working smarter, not harder, and ensuring that your efforts are always moving you in the right direction. As we conclude this chapter, you might be feeling excited about the potential of the roundtable approach to transform your work life. You've learned how to step back from the daily grind, how to set and track meaningful goals, and how to align your actions with your long-term vision. But what if there was a way to take all the strategies we've discussed so far and weave them into a cohesive philosophy of work and life? What if you could not only work less and earn more, but also find a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose in your professional life? In our final chapter, we'll explore a powerful concept that ties everything together, revealing the true wealth that comes from a life of purposeful simplicity. Are you ready to discover the ultimate secret to a rich and balanced life? Chapter 9, The Wealth in Simplicity. As we reach the final chapter of our journey, it's time to step back and reflect on the transformative power of the strategies we've explored. Throughout this book, we've delved into various techniques and approaches, each designed to help you work less and earn more. But as we conclude, I want to share with you a profound truth that ties everything together. The real wealth lies in simplicity. This might seem counterintuitive in a world that often equates success with complexity. We're bombarded with messages telling us that to achieve more, we need to do more, have more, be more. But what if the key to true success and fulfillment is actually in doing less, but doing it with greater purpose and intention? The concept of work minimalism that we've explored throughout this book is more than just a set of productivity hacks. It's a philosophy, a way of approaching your professional life that can lead to profound changes, not just in how you work, but in how you live. By embracing work minimalism, you gain something invaluable: control over your time and efforts. Think about it for a moment. How often have you felt like you're at the mercy of your to-do list, your inbox, or your calendar? How many times have you finished a busy day feeling exhausted, yet unsure of what you actually accomplished? Work minimalism flips this script. Instead of being reactive, constantly responding to the demands of others, you become proactive. You choose where to focus your energy. You decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. This shift from reacting to choosing is incredibly empowering. But the benefits don't stop at the office door. One of the most beautiful outcomes of embracing work minimalism is how it can improve your relationships. Think about the last time you were with your loved ones, but found your mind wandering to work issues, or the times you've had to cancel plans because of work commitments. By reducing work stress and freeing up more time, you create space for what truly matters. You can be more present with your family and friends. You have the energy to invest in deepening your relationships. Instead of giving your loved ones the leftover scraps of your time and attention, you can offer them your best self. This improvement in relationships isn't just a nice side effect. It's a crucial component of a truly successful life. After all, what's the point of professional success if you don't have meaningful connections to share it with? Now, let's talk about what you'll be able to achieve with your newfound approach to work. The strategies we've discussed, from the mind sweep to the round table, are designed to help you achieve professional success with less effort. This doesn't mean you won't work hard or face challenges, but it does mean that your efforts will be more focused, more intentional, and ultimately more effective. You'll likely find that you're able to complete projects faster, make better decisions, and seize opportunities that you might have missed before. But perhaps even more importantly, you'll have the time and energy to pursue personal interests and passions. Maybe you've always wanted to learn a new language, but never seemed to have the time. Or perhaps you've had a business idea simmering in the back of your mind, but couldn't find the mental space to develop it. With a minimalist approach to work, these dreams become possibilities. But here's where the magic really happens. As you continue to practice the concepts in this book, you'll find that achieving your goals requires progressively less effort. It's like compounding interest for your productivity. Each strategy you implement, each habit you form, builds on the last. Over time, you create a self-reinforcing system of efficiency and effectiveness. You'll start to notice that tasks that once took hours now take minutes. Decisions that used to agonize you become clear and straightforward. Projects that seemed overwhelming now feel manageable. This isn't because the work itself has become easier, but because you've become more skilled at approaching it. This continuous improvement allows you to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Instead of constantly striving and stressing, you can find satisfaction in the process itself. You're no longer just working towards some future goal. You're living a life of purpose and intention right now. And this, dear reader, is where we arrive at the ultimate payoff of work minimalism: freedom. Not just freedom from excessive work hours or stress, but freedom to shape your life according to your values and desires. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear sense of purpose, knowing exactly what you need to focus on to move closer to your goals. Imagine ending each workday feeling satisfied and accomplished, with energy left over for the people and activities you love. Imagine having the time and mental space to pursue your passions, to learn and grow, to make a difference in ways that go beyond your job description. This is the true wealth that simplicity offers. It's not about having more money, more stuff, more accolades. It's about needing less to be happy and fulfilled. It's about creating a life where your work supports your goals and values rather than consuming all your time and energy. As you move forward from here, remember that implementing these strategies is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way. You might find old habits creeping back in or face resistance from others who don't understand your new approach. But don't get discouraged. Each step you take towards simplicity and intentionality is a step towards a richer, more fulfilling life. Each time you choose to focus on what truly matters, you're reinforcing a powerful new way of living and working. The journey you've begun with this book is just the beginning. As you continue to refine and personalize these strategies, you'll discover new ways to simplify, new opportunities to maximize your impact while minimizing your effort. You'll find that the principles of work minimalism can be applied not just to your job, but to all areas of your life. In essence, what you've gained through this book is not just a set of techniques, but a new lens through which to view your work and your life. You've been given the tools to create a life of purpose, balance, and true wealth. Wealth measured not in dollars, but in time, freedom, and fulfillment. So as we conclude, I invite you to embrace the wealth in simplicity. Let go of the notion that more is always better. Instead, focus on what truly matters to you. Use the strategies we've discussed to create space in your life for what's most important. Remember, the goal isn't to do everything, it's to do the right things and to do them well. You have within you the power to reshape your work life, to achieve more by doing less, to find success without sacrificing your well-being or relationships. The path to this richer, more balanced life begins with a single step, a commitment to simplicity and intentionality in your work. As you close this book and return to your daily life, carry with you this powerful truth. True wealth isn't found in endless busyness or constant striving. It's found in the space between, in the moments of calm clarity, in the satisfaction of meaningful work well done, in the joy of time spent with loved ones. It's found in the simple things, the essential things, the things that truly matter. Your journey towards work minimalism and true wealth has just begun. As you embrace this path, you may find that mastering your work life opens up new challenges within your mind. The quest for simplicity in your external world can sometimes highlight the complexity of your internal landscape. What if there was a way to bring the same level of clarity and organization to your thoughts and emotions? The next step in your transformation journey awaits, promising to unlock the full potential of your newly simplified work life. To truly harness the power of work minimalism, you'll need to master the art of mental organization. Discover how in the audiobook, The Self-Organized Mind, Systems Thinking to Master an Unruly Mind. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.